1946. World War II is over. The world is celebrating peace, but secretly, the United States Navy is mobilizing for war. They sent an armada, 4,700 Marines, 13 ships, including an aircraft carrier and a submarine, 33 aircraft, and the legendary polar explorer, Admiral Richard E. Byrd. The mission was called Operation Highjump. The official story? A scientific expedition to map the ice. But you don't bring an aircraft carrier to study penguins. The mission was scheduled for 6 months. It ended in 6 weeks. They fled. They lost men. And Admiral Byrd warned of a new enemy that could fly from pole to pole at incredible speeds. Who were they fighting? The last Nazis? Or something not of this world? Today we unseal the file on the battle for Antarctica. This is Dark Files Unsealed. To understand what happened in 1946, we have to go back to 1938. Nazi Germany sent an expedition to Queen Maud Land in Antarctica. They dropped thousands of metal swastikas from planes to claim the territory. They renamed it Neuschwabenland. The Nazis were obsessed with the occult and the ice. Grand Admiral Dönitz famously stated in 1943, "The German submarine fleet is proud of having built for the Führer in another part of the world a Shangri-La on land, an impregnable fortress." At the end of the war, 2 German U-boats surrendered in Argentina, months after Germany fell. Their logs were missing key entries. The theory is terrifying. Did the Nazi elite escape to a secret base under the Antarctic ice? This was the intelligence that likely launched Operation Highjump. The US wasn't mapping ice. They were hunting the last battalion. January 1947. The fleet arrives. They begin mapping flights. But almost immediately, things go wrong. A PBM Mariner flying boat named George I explodes and crashes. 3 men are killed. The official report says, bad weather. But decades later, reports surfaced from crew members. They spoke of flying discs, craft that didn't use propellers, craft that rose vertically out of the water and moved at speeds impossible for 1947 technology. One alleged pilot's report read, "They are coming from under the water. They are attacking the ships." The rumors claim the destroyers were engaged by these Foo Fighters. The discs fired beams of energy, perhaps some form of advanced electromagnetic weapon, that disrupted the ship's electronics. It sounds like science fiction, but look at the timeline. The most powerful navy in the world arrives, stays a few weeks, suffers heavy losses, and retreats in panic. That is not a scientific mission, that is a military defeat. Admiral Byrd returned home and was reportedly silenced. But years later, a secret diary attributed to him surfaced. The diary describes a flight where Byrd's plane is intercepted by disc-shaped craft marked with swastikas. He is forced to land, not on ice, but in a lush, green oasis beyond the pole, a warm land with mammoths. He meets a figure called the Master, who warns humanity about nuclear weapons. Is this diary real? Most historians say no, it's a forgery based on the Hollow Earth theory. But it aligns strangely with the mythology of Agartha, a civilization the Nazis were actively searching for. We can dismiss the diary. But we cannot dismiss what Byrd publicly said to the press in Chile on his way home. He said, "I don't want to scare anyone, but the bitter reality is that in case of a new war, the continental United States would be attacked by flying objects which could fly from pole to pole at incredible speeds." Byrd wasn't talking about Soviet bombers. He was talking about something he saw down there. After Highjump, the Antarctic became a locked zone. In the 1950s, under Project Argus, the US detonated 3 nuclear warheads high in the atmosphere near Antarctica. Why nuke the South Pole? To study the ozone layer, or to trap something inside an electronic force field? Then the Antarctic Treaty was signed in 1959, banning all military activity. It was the first time the US and USSR agreed on anything during the Cold War. Perhaps they agreed because they both faced a common threat residing in the ice. Operation Highjump remains a classified puzzle. Did Byrd find a Nazi fortress? Did he find an ancient civilization? Or did he simply fight the brutal elements and lose? Whatever is down there is still there, buried under miles of ice, protected by the cold, and a treaty that keeps us out. The war didn't end in 1945, it just moved south. The file is frozen, but the ice is melting. Thanks for watching. If you want to uncover more secrets, subscribe to Dark Files Unsealed.